Hello everybody, this is Lisa and I'm ready to start another Verbling class. Salvador, you can, if you want to join the class, just click on the green button at the top. It says join class. I think Nate is just finishing up his class, and so we will wait for some people to join us. The topic is going to be an article that we're going to read about the gas prices in the United States right now and how they've been dropping and why that might be. So this is a little bit on the more intermediate advanced level of reading and understanding and vocabulary, but it'll give us something to work with, and we can have our own discussion about gas prices and the different types of vocabulary. Hi there, welcome. Harvey, are you there?
Hi. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little bit low. You can maybe speak louder or turn up your volume on your mic.
Wait. Can you repeat again, please?
Yeah, can you turn your microphone up a little bit?
Wait. I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, that's better.
Hi. What is your name?
My name is Lisa, and I'm one of the teachers. Have you been doing any Verbling classes yet?
No, it's the first class.
Okay, welcome. Well, I'll explain the way it works. So, because we have people watching also, maybe they haven't decided if they're going to join yet. So, the way the Verbling class works, because people are starting to come on and check it out and see if they want to join. If you want to come into the Google Hangouts, which is what you see now, you see me and then you see people coming in down below, then all you have to do is click on the Join Class button. It's green and it's at the top, the right hand there, your right hand, upper right hand side, and that'll bring you into this area, which means you can discuss the topic with me. This will give you a chance to practice your English, both listening and speaking, and also if you do not want to speak, then you can participate in the written chat, which is on the side here. So there's some people already. Salvador's in the chat and Brenda's in the chat. She says that she's sick today, so she's just going to listen, which is fine. And Manuel, hi there, come on in. And so we're just going to wait a couple minutes. Sometimes in the very beginning of the class, some people come in and then they get dropped and then they come back in. It just depends on your internet connection and the speed and various things like that. So I'm going to be welcoming people as they come in. I see that we have some viewers, so feel free to join us in the chat so that you can speak. Hi, is it Jeffrey? Jeffrey?
Hi.
Hi there. Hi, how are you? How do I say your name?
I'm fine, thank you.
And how do you say your name?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, okay. Good. All right, so is this your first Verbling class or have you done them before? Jeffrey?
It's my first class.
Okay, great. Welcome. And we have another
My first
person.
class.
Okay, great. We have another person who joined us, and it's written in Arabic, so I can't read it, but you have a picture of a tree. Are you there?
Omar. Yes.
Omar. Okay. Great, thanks. I'm just gonna wait one more minute to see if any other people show up in the chat, and then we can introduce ourselves, and then we will get started with our topic. Hi, Dario.
Hello. Good
How
night.
are you doing today? Hi.
Very good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right.
All right, just getting ready to get started here to see if some of our students come in, like sometimes Junaid or Meli or some other people join us at this time. Manuel is in the chat, and Brenda's in the chat, and Salvador is in the chat, and Abderzerak is coming on, I think, and Ragul from India. All right, welcome. Okay, I'm going to get us started now because we have enough people here in the Google Hangouts. We're going to start by introducing ourselves. So when I call on usually when I call your name, then I put your picture up in the video so that people can see you talking. If you don't have your video on, then sometimes I'll just put whatever picture you have there so we know who is talking. All right, so I will go first and introduce myself. And if we get more people coming in, because I see some people are coming in and going out, Ragul might be having a hard time there with the connection. We'll just welcome them into class and keep going. And Albus is also in the chat. Hi, Albus. My name is Lisa. I'm one of the Verbling teachers, and I live in Washington State in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. That's just above the states of California, and then Oregon, and then comes Washington, and we're right below Canada. Okay, so Salvador, you're in the chat. This class is just starting. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. I just want you to say, you can tell us your name and tell us where you're from or where you're living, and then we'll get started. Abderrazak. Hi, Abderrazak. How are you?
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. You're in the dark. I can't barely see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I am Abdelzak from Algeria. I live right now in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, great. And Dario's back. Hi, Dario.
Hello. Good night, everybody. How are you, teacher?
Good. I'm doing well. Why don't you tell us where you are?
I am right now at Nuevo León state. I live in Monterrey, the city. It's to the north side of Mexico. It's the border with Texas, with McAllen and San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's San Antonio. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm from here as well. I'm from Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico.
Uh-huh. Wonderful. Okay, Mexico. All right. And we have Harvey. Are you there?
Yes. Yes. My name is Harvey. I'm from Colombia. I live in Popayán. It's south of Colombia. It's near to Ecuador. I'm a Colombian Marine. And in my holidays right now, I'm trying to learn to speak English. This is very important for my job.
Okay, great. Well, it sounds like you already speak English. You just want to practice more. Yes. Okay, Jeffrey, how are you doing?
Hi, my name is Jeffrey. I live in Panama. I am a student of engineering, and that's it.
Okay, great, wonderful. All right, and Ragul, how are you today?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Great, ma'am.
Great. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us where you are?
My name is Rahul from India. Complete my engineering.
All right, wonderful.
Complete my engineering in Simon.
I couldn't understand what you said. Can you repeat it, please?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Rahul from India. Completed my engineering in June. Now I am working in a company, networking company.
Okay, great. You're living in India. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so today's topic is kind of a little advanced, and so I put the Google Doc link. It's right there. And we're going to first, before we get into reading the article, we're going to talk about some vocabulary that you may or may not know already. So I'm going to switch to the screen share so that we can see it here and people can also see it. And we're going to just go through and see if we can come up with some definitions, some meanings for these words before we read the article. And then I'm going to ask some of you, or all of you might get a chance to read parts of the article and then we will have a discussion about it. So you'll get some practice in reading and speaking and listening tonight. Okay, so let's get started here. So this is an article called Gas Prices Near a 2-Year Low. So what's happening in the United States right now is that the gas prices are very low, lower than they have been in almost 2 years, and this is what the article is talking about. So, does anybody know what the word consumers refers to? What does it mean?
Is the people who buy the gasoline?
Customer.
People who buy gas or whatever they buy, people who buy the gas. And the customer is another word for that as well. And what are the prices?
How much it costs something we buy it.
How much it costs. That's the price of something. And what would be the average price? Do you understand the word average?
Minimum or maximum prices.
Yeah, it's statistic or mathematic word.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what would it mean if I say what the average price is?
The lowest and the higher price.
Right. So it's not the lowest, it's not the highest, so it's kind of
between
yeah, the middle price that most people are paying. All right, I'll write it like that. And the word fallen. Does somebody want to tell me what fallen means?
Cost of money will be fallen, ma'am.
Yes. Oh, it's when reduction. Yeah. Reduction in price. Oops, spelled it wrong. Reduction in price, or when something the price goes down. So it's fallen. What about
when
the word?
The cost is low.
Yeah. Yeah, like to fall in is telling you what way it's going. If it's going up, or if it's falling down. So wholesale price. What would be the wholesale price? Has anybody heard that word before? There's two prices usually.
Price of buying.
Buying lots of materials.
Yes. So the wholesale price is what the gas station pays. It's not the price that you pay. It's what they pay to buy the gas, and then when they sell it to you, it becomes the retail price. So it's lower than the retail price. So that's how you make money. You buy something at wholesale price, and then you mark it up. You make it more expensive, and then you sell it to the customer, the consumer, and then you make money that way. All right, what are we talking about when I talk about market, the market for something?
Is the place on the buy the gas?
Yeah, it's talking about, the stock market. So there could be a market like where you go buy grocery, could be an actual store, but it can also just be the market for gas is who's buying. So the market is talking about the people who are buying. And in this article, it's talking about the people who are buying at the retail price and at the wholesale price. What does the word compile mean? Have you heard that word before? Compile?
Compile.
Execution.
Yes, Raghu?
Execution.
Okay. Yeah, compile means more like bring together. I didn't. You can write it in the chat, Ragul, too, if you want, and I'll see it.
Yeah.
So compile means to bring together or to gather. And the word data. Does everybody know the word data?
Information.
Information.
Yes. Yes. Information about various things. So fuel economy. When we talk about fuel economy, we're talking about cars. And does anybody know what fuel economy means? If I say that car has a good fuel economy?
Not to consume more gas.
Yeah, how much how much gas the car uses. So some cars that are very big, like SUVs maybe, or big Suburbans or something like that you've seen around in the United
4x4.
States.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't get very good fuel economy. They take a lot of gas. But something like a small Toyota, like an electric car or something, that has a good fuel economy because it doesn't take very much gas. All right, does everybody know what unemployment is?
Without job?
Without a,
Yeah.
without
Right,
any
no
job.
no job.
No job.
That's right. Unemployment means the people who don't have jobs right now. Okay. What about telecommuting?
Communication by any phones.
Yeah,
Communication
telecommuting.
by communicating by phones.
It's working by at home or somewhere else by the computer. So it means if you're telecommuting instead of, so tele it stands for telecommunications, or like telephone it used to be, and commuting is going back and forth. So usually if you have a job where you have to get into your car and drive,
communication between the people.
Yes, but it specifically means when somebody is working from home and they are using a computer to do their work, they don't have to go into an office. That means we say they are telecommuting. So commuting, I'm going to write it in the chat so people can understand this. Commuting is usually driving in your car. Yeah, in your car to your job and back home. That's commuting. But telecommuting means that you're going to your job, but you're doing it over the internet by the computer. So you don't have to go into an office. You don't have to get in a car and drive anywhere. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Consumption. What would consumption be? If you consume something, do you know the word consume?
Mm-hmm.
So consumers have consumption. So it is what people consume. In this case, it's what you buy. Your level of what you buy, how much you buy. Okay, we have a few more here. So supplies. Do you know?
Is what the articles somebody provide you?
Uh-huh.
Or the things that you get provide?
Provider.
Uh-huh, the supplies are what people provide to you to do something. So if you have, let's say you have supplies for gardening, you might have a shovel and some tools. If you have supplies for your computer, it might be like your computer charger, maybe you need a printer, stuff like that. So supplies is what you need, or to provide somebody with something if you're talking about the verb. So the verb is to supply somebody with something. So if I say Dario supplies me with great tomatoes, that means he gives me good tomatoes, okay? He's a gardener or something. All right. Production. What are we talking about when we're talking about the production of something? If the company has increased production, or if there's increased production in oil, what does that mean?
What they're working, production, I mean.
Producing, yeah.
Producing.
So yeah, production is like making stuff. Yeah, making stuff, or what has been made, or what the in this case, oil production is like making oil. So in this case, it's the how much oil they're making, or the making of the oil, I should say. All right, a couple more here. Domestic. What does it mean when we're talking about domestic versus foreign?
Household properties. Using an household.
Usual, like usual.
Domestic.
When something is in home.
Yes. Yeah, if it's from home. So if I'm talking, and I'm an American, and I say domestic oil, then I'm talking about oil from my country.
Make it
yeah.
Okay.
Getting it from my country. Yeah, because foreign oil would be from another country, like various Arabic countries, Iran and Iraq and Saudi Arabia, those places. But domestic oil might come from Texas or other states in the United States. All right, another one that's been important in the last couple of years is called a recession. What do I mean if I say we are in a recession?
When you stop.
Stopping their products.
Right. Yeah, you said it all. So it's when the economy is declining or going down. So people in a recession, there's more people who don't have jobs, and stores might be closing, and things are just declining. They're going down. People might not be making as much money. People aren't buying as much stuff. So the opposite of the recession would be the growth. So that's when
economy rise.
Yeah, when the economy is growing, which means it's people are buying stuff, selling stuff, everything's happening. More things are happening between people and businesses. Fiscal. Does anybody know the word fiscal? Hi, Philip.
Yeah, hi.
Welcome. We're just going through some vocabulary words here before we get ready to tackle this article on gas prices. All right, so anybody have an idea what it means of fiscal? In the news, if you watch the news, you'll hear the word fiscal policies a lot. And
counting, something like counting, or...
Yeah, it just refers to money or the economy. Yeah. This one is a little bit more difficult. I actually put it down here right below here. Crude futures. So when you make oil, you use crude oil. And the people who are investing in oil, they buy contracts that get fulfilled at later dates. So that's why it's called the futures. They're kind of betting on it or investing in it. So, and then we have spending, which you guys probably know what that means, right? To spend money. Okay. All right. So we went through all of that, and so if you have any questions, you can refer back to the list here, which gives us our definitions, so we know what we're talking about. And now we're going to read the article. So I'm going to read it one time through so you can hear me and listen to my English. And then I'm going to go back and ask each of you to read a paragraph or so. Okay? Let's see. So I already welcomed Philippe, or Philip. Do I say it Philip or Philippe?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Is it Philip? Is that how you say your name?
Philip.
Yeah, Philip. Okay. Remind us where you're from, Philip.
I'm from Poland.
Yes. All right, from Poland. Okay,
Yeah.
and we had one other person, but it just dropped out. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to read, and you guys can read along either in the screen share that you see right here on the video, or if you want to open up the Google Docs. I don't know if you saw it, Philip, but I'll put it in the chat again. You can open that up and read along. All right, here we go. Consumers are getting more, or sorry, I'll start again. Consumers are getting some relief at the gas pump, particularly in the middle of the country, as prices could soon fall to levels not achieved since early 2011. The average price of a gallon of self-serve regular gas has fallen steadily every day for almost 4 weeks. Tuesday's $3.24 a gallon reading from the AAA was the lowest price so far in 2012 and only 3 cents away from the price last reached in February 2011. Tom Closa, chief analyst at the Oil Price Information Service, said that he thinks the chances are good that prices will reach that nearly 2-year low, based on what he's seeing in the wholesale price market. OPIS compiles prices data from 120,000 stations nationwide for AAA. He said the national average is partly being driven down by better fuel economy, continued high unemployment, and an increase in telecommuting, which together have cut consumption about 2% to 3% in the last year. Increased supplies from booming U.S. and Canadian production is also driving down prices. Crude oil in the middle of the country is less than $50 a barrel, said Closa. Once you get to the coast, the prices are higher, but we've got some very cheap domestic prices. Related, the perils of going over the fiscal cliff. In addition, oil prices globally are also being pushed down by the recession in Europe and Japan and a slowdown in China's economic growth. There are also worries by some investors about the chance of the fiscal cliff causing the U.S. economy to fall into a recession. There's not a lot of money going into crude futures right now because they have worries about cuts in spending that could occur, he said about the fiscal cliff recession fears. If the country does go into recession, Closa said, gas prices could get below $3 a gallon for the first time since December 2010. So that's the main article, and I'm going to talk about the fiscal cliff a little bit later. That's something, if you're listening to the news in the U.S., you might hear about the fiscal cliff that they're afraid of. All right, so it's a little bit advanced, and are you guys up for the challenge of reading it? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, here we go. You guys are the brave ones. You have a lot of people are watching this video and they haven't come into the chat because this is a more difficult lesson than I think some of the people are used to. All right, but you guys are the brave ones. All right.
Me, I can.
Okay. All right, Abderzak, why don't you read the first two paragraphs since we only have all right, Junaid's going to join us too, so he's brave. Junaid, did you hear me talking about brave people coming into the class?
No, I had a problem with my computer. Now I solved it.
Okay, good.
I don't listen to the class.
Okay. Well, it's been a little bit tough going here. We got some intermediate, advanced, really more like advanced level vocabulary, and we're tackling an article about lower gas prices in the U.S. So we went over the vocabulary already, and I read the article once, and now we're going to have some people read some paragraphs. So
Okay.
Abderzak is going to read our first one. I just gave you the link in the chat, and also you can see it on the screen here. So, okay. Go for it.
Consumers are getting some relief at the gas pump, particularly in the middle of the country, as prices could soon fall to levels not achieved since early 2011. The average price of gallon of self-serve regular gas has fallen steadily every day for almost 4 weeks. Tuesdays, $3.24 gallon reading from the AAA was the lowest price so far in 2012, and only 3 cents away from the price last reached in February 2011.
Great. Okay, Dario, you're next.
Yes. All
okay.
right.
The next two paragraphs, please.
Tom Closa, chief analyst at the Oil Price Information Service, said that he thinks that the changes are good, that prices will reach that nearly 2-year low, based on what he seen in the wholesale price market. OPIS complies prices data from 120,000 stations nationwide for AAA. He said the national average is partly being driven down by better fuel economy, continued high employment, and an increase in telecommuting, which together cut. Composition about 2% to 3% in the last year. Increased supplies from booming US and Canadian productions is also driving down prices. Crude oil in the middle of the country is less than $50 a barrel, said Closa. Once you get to the coast, the prices are higher, but we've got some very cheap domestic prices.
Okay, great, good job. Okay, Junaid, how about, are you ready to read?
Yes, of course.
Okay, hold on, let me pull it up here a little bit more. Oops. Okay. You can start at the red part there, related.
Okay. The related the perils of going over the fiscal.
Yeah, fiscal. Yeah, it means the money or the economic cliff.
Okay.
Yeah.
In addition, oil prices globally are also being pushed down by the recession in Europe and Japan and a slowdown in Chinese economic growth. There are also worries by some investors about the change of the fiscal cliff, using the US economy to fall into a recession. There is not a lot of money going into crude futures right now because they have worries about cuts in spending that could occur, he said about the fiscal cliff recession fears.
Okay, good. All right, Ragul, you want to read the last bit there?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. If countries go into recession, gas price could get below $3 a gallon for the first time since December 2010.
Okay, good. All right, so you guys did a good job there. Now let's go back and see if we understood what we read.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says consumers are getting some relief at the gas pump. What does that mean? What is relief?
Not relief. We must start with consumers. It's
okay.
Consumers is the same as customers?
Yes.
What's the difference? Can I use it here? Customers are getting some relief?
Yes.
So no difference between them.
The customer. Yeah, the customer. When you say a customer, that's usually anybody who's buying anything from a business. So you can always use the word customer. Consumer is also somebody who buys stuff, but the word consume, the verb to consume, means to use. So the consumers are also the purchasers or the customers, but they're also consuming something. So you usually use it for things that you're consuming, like food, and you're using up gas. So you wouldn't necessarily be a consumer of like iPods. Like you can use that, but you would more likely say that you're a customer, like at the Apple Store, for example, or a customer at Target or Walmart, or a customer, at a store. But a consumer is talking more about somebody who consumes something, and in this case, it's gas. So we are the consumers. We are the people who buy and use gas. Does that make sense? It's a little bit different, but you can use both of them. Okay, so they are getting some relief at the gas pump.
Attractive.
Or you could say they're getting a break.
Break.
If you're getting a break, that means they're getting a break because the price is cheaper. So that's what they're talking about. You're getting relief, so you don't have to pay so much money at the pump. Okay? It says particularly, so that means especially in the middle of the country, as prices could soon fall to levels not achieved since early 2011. So we talked about this before as prices being the cost. So what does it mean that it could soon fall? Junaid?
Yes.
What does it mean when you see the words?
Come down again. Come down again.
Yeah, they'll come. They could soon fall. So that pretty soon they might go down even more. and they're saying to levels not achieved since early 2011. So in early 2011, they were cheap, and they haven't been that cheap since, but they might be soon because the prices are going to fall. That means they're going to get cheaper. And Juan Jose, you just joined us? Juan. Okay, you're in the chat, but I don't hear you. Okay. All right, the next one, it says in this next paragraph, the average price of a gallon of self-serve regular gas has fallen steadily every day for almost 4 weeks. So what are they telling you there? Dario? If I'm telling you that the average price of a gallon of self-serve regular gas has fallen steadily every day for almost 4 weeks, what?
It's like the promedio of the price is going down.
Yeah, just every day, basically, they're saying that the price is going down. So in the United States, in most states, they have what they call self-serve regular gas. So that means you go to the gas station and you're going to get out of your car and you're going to get your own gas. That's called self-serve. You're serving yourself. And there's 3 different kinds of gas at the gas pump. There's like regular and premium and super or something like that. I always
unleaded.
Yeah. Diesel, yes, they have diesel too sometimes.
Can you hear me?
Juan, hi there. Welcome. So, you're welcome. So we're just talking about the regular price of gas. So they're telling us that on Tuesday, it was the average price. So that means it could vary. It could be a little higher in some places, and it could be a little lower in some places. But it was only $3.24 a gallon. And that was the lowest price so far in all of the year of 2012.
But what kind of gas he talking about it?
The regular gas.
The regular.
No.
Yeah,
This
self-serve
is
regular.
2012?
Yeah.
2012. This is this is the average.
Yes, this is the
Average.
right. Yeah, the average
Here,
price.
It's more. It's less than this price.
Oh, well then you're lucky. I just went and filled up my tank of gas about an hour ago, and I think it was $3.29 a gallon. So I drive a Toyota van, and it cost I think it was $52.29 or something like that to fill the tank. So that's actually pretty cheap, because I remember last year sometimes, and even this year, it was over $4 sometimes. And that means when I filled up my tank, sometimes it was over $70 for gas. So that's a kind of a big difference.
Yeah.
Yep. So now, those 2 paragraphs are just saying that consumers you don't have to pay so much, and that's a relief, and that's a good thing, and that they're telling you what the average price has been, and that it continues to fall, and if it does, it's going to be lower than it was even a year or 2 years ago. So that's pretty much all they want to tell you in those 2 paragraphs. Then they're going to talk to this guy. He's a chief analyst. Do you guys know what an analyst does?
It takes.
An analyst, his job is to
Compilers data.
to study information.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he is going to look at all the different information, the prices, and all that kind of stuff, and then he's going to give you his information about what it means. So a chief analyst at the Oil Price Information Service, so that must be some kind of organization that studies these things, said that he thinks the chances are good that prices will reach that nearly 2-year low based on what he's seeing in the wholesale price market. So what he's looking at is the wholesale prices. So we talked about this before you got on, Junaid. Hi, Juan. I see that you joined. Hi. We're just talking about this article on the gas prices that are going down in the United States, and it's using a lot of difficult vocabulary, so we're going through it to make sure we understand it. So what he's saying is that when he's looking at the wholesale prices are what the gas stations pay for their gas. So it's not what you pay. What you pay is the retail price, and that's the $3.24.
The wholesale price, like the international price for gas.
Yeah, it's the wholesale price that the gas stations are going to buy, or the gas companies are going to buy it for, and then they're going to mark it up. They're going to make it more expensive and sell it to you, and that's how they make the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what he's saying is based on what the prices are for wholesale gas. So if the price for wholesale gas is going down, also maybe it's $1.50 a gallon, for example, and it's going down to $1.25 a gallon, then he can predict or guess or say that he thinks the prices for the consumer will also be lower. So that's pretty much what they're trying to say in that paragraph. And then they're explaining to you what the OPIS does. So the OPIS, which is that organization, it compiles prices data from over 120,000 stations nationwide for AAA. So it goes to all these different gas stations and gets their prices. And then they put all of that information, which is what we call data. That's why in the computer talk you have a database program. Some of you might be familiar with a database program. You put that data into a program, and then it's going to give you information. And so that's what they're doing, is they're using that information to give us some predictions about what might be happening in the future. Predictions are just guesses. Okay? And so he said the national average is partly being driven down. So he's saying that for some reasons why that it's going lower, having a lower price, is better fuel economy. So we talked about that earlier. Hey, Junaid, which cars do you think have good fuel economy?
I think the hybrid.
Right. So like a hybrid car.
Yeah.
Do you see many of those driving around Tucson?
Lots of them.
Yeah. Okay. Dario, what kind of cars would have a bad fuel economy? Do you know what type of car has a bad fuel economy?
Well, cars with big motors, big cars like
8 cylinder.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
8 cylinders.
Yeah. Yeah, 8 cylinders. Good. So yes, bigger cars. Sometimes we call them gas guzzlers. That means they take a lot of gas. It's a gas guzzler. Yeah.
But people here in USA like it. I don't know why.
Yes. People in the United States, because the gas in the U.S. is pretty low compared to other countries. So a lot of people still purchase big cars like Escalades or something like that.
SUV, 4x4.
Yeah, big SUVs, and they take a lot of gas. Yeah. So, okay. All right, so that might be one reason why people are buying less gas and the price is going down, because they don't need so much because their cars are getting better gas mileage. Also, there's continued high unemployment, so there's still a lot of people that don't have jobs, so maybe they're not traveling very much if they don't have money to go traveling. And there's an increase in telecommuting. Do you know what telecommuting is, Junaid?
No.
Okay, I was explaining it before. So telecommuting means you're working from home, probably using the internet nowadays.
Oh.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't have to drive to work anymore because they're working from home. So that means less people driving, less gas.
Yeah.
You know, they're not buying so much gas. So they're saying that those are some of the reasons that this might have been the reason why there's a cut in consumption. So that means less consumption. A cut in consumption means less consumption, which means less people are buying gas. Okay? 2 to 3% in the last year. So less people are buying gas. And also, in addition to people buying less gas for those reasons, there's an increased supply. So that means there's more oil. So increased means more. Supplies means of what we're talking about, which is oil, from booming U.S. and Canadian production. So U.S. companies and Canadian companies are producing or making more oil. So that's also driving down the prices, making the prices go lower because there's more oil available, what they say. Okay. And then crude oil in the middle of the country is less than $50 a barrel, said Closa. Once you get to the coast, the prices are higher, but we've got some very cheap domestic prices. So we also went over the word domestic. Do you know what that means, Junaid?
Locally?
Yes, local, and in this case, it means just from the United States here. Because it means from the country that you're living in, okay? So, in this case, it's the United States. In addition, oil prices globally, so that means oil prices all over the world, are also being pushed down. They're being made lower by the recession. So another word for recession is like the decline, the economic decline in Europe and Japan, and a slowdown in China's economic growth. So China has been growing and producing a lot of things, especially for Americans, and now they're saying that it's slowing down. So they're not producing as much. So that might be another reason why the gas prices are lower. But there are also worries by some investors about the chance of the fiscal cliff causing the U.S. economy to fall into a recession. So I wrote it down here if you want to read more about it. What's going to happen in January is in the United States is that Obama is going to increase some taxes and cut spending.
Yeah.
And some people think that that's going to be a bad thing for the economy, and some people think it's going to be a good thing for the economy. So
I think increase tax for the people who has a lot of $1 million.
yes,
Rich one.
yes,
Yeah,
Rich one.
yeah, increase taxes on the rich, and also cut spending in defense. So getting out of Afghanistan and Iraq, and also, you know, cutting back on how much money the United States is spending on the army and all the different armed forces, which we call the defense budget. Hi. Hi, Emmanuel, are you there?
And also, you know,
Okay.
cutting back.
That was me talking. Okay. I muted you, Emmanuel, because you're not live yet. You were listening to the recorded part of the class. So if you want to talk, you can go ahead and talk now. Okay, so basically to finish up the article, it says if the country does go into recession, so that means if the United States continues to have a poor economy, meaning more people losing their jobs and less spending and all that, then the gas prices could go down even further, maybe to below $3 a gallon for the first time since December 2010. So it hasn't been that low for over 2 years. So that's a big thing for a lot of people, because it's a big difference if you have to drive somewhere. You know, in the United States, because the United States is such a big country, a lot of people have to drive, you know, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to go to their job, sometimes more. So even just driving around to get to the store or to your job can be very expensive in gas. So people like it when the gas prices are lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Junaid, do you drive?
yes.
Yeah? What kind of car do you have?
I don't have that.
Oh. That's cheaper way. So how do you get around Tucson without a car?
I have a lot of my friend's car.
Okay, so you can use your friend's cars.
I think There is another thing that the people they don't use the car in America in winter.
Yeah.
This is also helps gas price to to be lower than the average.
I see.
Yes. Yes. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes they will cut the prices in the winter because they want people to buy gas and use it. But sometimes they'll raise the prices in the summer when you're going to go on vacation. So when they know that you're going to drive, they will raise the prices. That's not fair. But anyways. So Abderzak, are you driving in Kansas, or how are you getting around?
Yeah, I am driving.
You have a car?
Yeah, I have a car. Minivan. Kia.
A minivan? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Does it cost a lot of money to fill up the tank?
I never fill up the tank.
That's one strategy. Just keep putting $10 in.
Yeah, $10. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. Yeah, some people, they just barely have enough gas to get where they need to go, and then when the light comes on, then they go and get some more gas. Yeah. What about you, Dario? Do you use a car?
Yes, I do.
How is the gas expensive in Mexico?
It's around 13, 14 pesos per liter.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more than $1 for 1 liter.
Wow, that's expensive then.
Yes, it is.
So it's probably almost $4 per gallon, about.
Yes, more than around.
More.
Yes, a
Okay.
little bit more.
Yeah. What kind of car do you have?
I have a Volkswagen Safari.
Oh, nice.
It's cheap. It's very cheap.
Yeah. Was it made in Mexico?
Pardon?
Is that one of the cars that they make in Mexico?
No, actually, Volkswagen. The
Yeah.
brand is from Germany.
Yeah, I know.
No, there is factory in Brazil.
Yes. They don't do that the Safaris anymore. They stopped producing them a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool. And let's see. Ragul, do you drive a car?
No, ma'am.
No.
Don't.
No car. If you don't have a car, you don't have to worry too much about the gas prices. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
If you have a car, if you drive a car, you have to put the gas prices into your budget. So because you have to figure out how much gas you need, and sometimes that could be a lot. Some people spend $200 or more per month just on gas. So it's something that you have to plan for to make sure you have enough money to afford to drive around. Okay, so we have a few more minutes in the class, and so let's try some of these questions here, see if anybody wants to try to answer these. Why is the price of gas going down according to this article? Who can give me one reason that the gas prices are going down?
One reason increase the unemployment people.
Okay, so that means... So in the article it said high unemployment, that's right. And why would that make it so that the gas prices go down?
Because when they lose their job, they don't go to the work.
Yeah, they don't have to
don't
drive to work.
Yeah.
They don't drive. They don't drive to work.
A lot of them, they sell the car.
Right. So that's true. They don't have to drive to work, and maybe also they aren't driving very much because they don't have very much money for that kind of thing. Yeah. Is there another reason why the gas prices might be going down that you remember from the article?
The increasing of telecommuting jobs.
Yeah, I think that's a really important thing, because more and more with the internet, people are telecommuting. That means they're working from home. So you don't even barely have to get dressed. You can work in your pajamas. That's a very popular thing in the United States, is work in your pajamas. Yeah, on the computer. Okay, does anybody remember how much per barrel is the cost of crude oil from the U.S. currently? How many dollars does it cost for a barrel of gas right now in the U.S.?
$50.
Yes, $50, right. $50. I don't really know what that means. Do you guys know anything about gas and oil? Because they're always talking about the barrel prices, but I don't know how many gallons is in the barrel or how many gallons you can make from a barrel. So
Barrel of oil, not gas.
yeah, right. That's oil, not gas. Yeah, so you have to make the gas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a guess, Junaid?
No.
Oh, I thought you said. I thought I heard somebody say. Yeah, that's probably something you can find on the internet, but I didn't look for it. All right. So why aren't people investing in crude futures?
They are feared.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and see if we can find it. Where was that part? All right, yeah, so in the article you can always go back and look, and it says here that there's not a lot of money going into crude futures right now because they have worries about cuts in spending that could occur. So that's what's going to happen in January with this fiscal cliff. Like I said, he's going to cut spending. So maybe the president or the Congress, they're going to cut spending in areas that might use a lot of gas. And if they cut spending, then the United States government is not going to be using that gas anymore. And so that might affect the prices that they can actually get for these, because you can't get very much money if you have a surplus. A surplus is what you have is extra. If you have extra gas, then you probably won't be able to sell it at high prices. Usually you have to have less of something to be able to sell it for a lot of money.
Also, if they want to invest in the crude,
Uh-huh.
all the location in the world for the crude oil is dangerous.
Yes.
Most place for crude oil, there is a war, especially in the Middle East.
Yes, it's very unstable. So
So this is also another reason to the people they are not invest.
Yes.
Good.
They're not investing because they can't count on what's happening over there.
Yeah.
Okay. So how low might gas prices get if the country goes into a recession? How low did it say that it might go? You guys remember?
Under $3?
Yeah, it said something like under $3 per gallon. It might go that low. That would be amazing. If I went to the gas station and I saw $2.89 per gallon, oh man, that would be cheap.
now here in Arizona, $2.99.
Wow, my gosh, that's really cheap.
The regular.
I wonder why.
The regular $2.99.
Uh-huh. Huh. That's interesting. I wonder, are there gas oil fields in Arizona at all?
No.
No. But you're closer to Texas, I guess.
Yeah, close to Texas.
Close to Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
And the article also take this point. The made in the USA and the price is different, no?
Yes, that's right. In the middle of the U.S., it's cheaper.
Cheaper than the cost. Yeah.
And so, do you think that lower gas prices are good or not?
Of course, good.
It depends, huh?
Yeah.
No, of course, good, because a lot of people now, when they find job, they try to find job near to his house.
Yeah.
Because he said, why I spend a lot of gas?
Right, a lot of money on gas.
Yeah, a lot of money. So he tried to search job near to his house.
Yeah.
And so if the price of gas, it's
go down.
slow, go down.
Yeah, it's lower.
Maybe the people they try to find job not near to his house. Maybe.
Yeah. So I'm writing it in the chat and I'm saying it a little bit differently. But I think what you're saying is if the price of gas is lower, then they might have more job opportunities because then they might be able to find a job that's farther away.
Yeah.
From where they live. So that's a good thing. Yeah. Well,
and
some
also the price for another products they goes down.
Okay.
Because the transportation for food or anything.
Yeah.
When the gas price is low, also the price of this materials goes down.
Yeah.
This depends on many fields in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, many fields.
Right. Yeah, because in the United States, a lot of if you're driving around in the highways of the United States, you'll see a lot of trucks, big trucks, and they are delivering goods that come into places like in Seattle. Where I live near Seattle, and if I go to the beach, a lot of times I see very, very big, huge ships that have big old boxes, containers from China and other places full of stuff. And so then it goes into Seattle and then it gets unloaded there. And those big containers are put onto trucks, and then that stuff is delivered by the trucks across various parts of the United States. So yeah, so lower gas prices may decrease the other prices of things like food and goods and things because it'll be cheaper to ship them, right? Yeah, you guys did a good job. This was a pretty hard article. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be when I was looking at it, but then I realized it had a lot of difficult words in there. But you guys stuck with it, and you guys did a really good job. So congratulations. Uh-oh, Junaid dropped out. Okay, all right. So the class is over for tonight, and I'll be doing some classes tomorrow morning at 9 and at 10 a.m. So if you guys want to join in, otherwise maybe I'll see you again at another night.
Yeah, we have to.
Okay.
We have to.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Take care. See you.
All right, good job, you guys. Thanks.
Thank you.